we are back. We are heading into race 2. In a way, it's nicely segmented for you to watch back later, so you can thank Konami for that. I'm Greg, and my good friend Owen is here in the comms box with me to fire you through all the action. We've just had a fantastic race one with lots of drama, lots of fast laps, fast cars, and we are ready to go again for race 2. Sending into your Sunday evening with fuel, tyre and speed, and we are ready to go once again. We are just using a small free practice session to get all the cars back in. And tell you what, I am cooking after that one. There was a lot of action to dive into, wasn't there?
Just for the commentary bingo, absolutely.
So, have you joined as a driver, mate?
Oh. Oh. Oh no, hang on. I appear to have done a whoopsie.
Right. Sort it out.
I wonder why my camera looked a bit different. Why? Oh wait, no, I was gonna... No, can't do that, copyright. Oh, what a blunder. So, who let us in charge, honestly? And I think it's going to go a bit...
Why? Don't remove him from the results, Brown. I mean, that's where he'd finish. It's a representative result.
Still higher than you. Ooh. Sorry, who finished above you last season? Ooh.
Not by much.
Ooh, sorry. Doesn't matter by a little or a lot.
I'm going to kick your butt on Tuesday around here.
Winning is winning.
So, we haven't actually spoken much about FRL this evening, so we're going to do it now. Welcome to our humble community of racing drivers. We cover ACC, Assetto Corsa, Formula 1, Gran Turismo, WRC, you name it. If it's got 4 wheels and it races online, FRL is the place to be for all your sim racing needs. Racing almost every single day of the week in different formulas, different standards. We're welcome to absolutely everybody as long as you are nice and respectful on track. So many of our seasons are commentated like this one. If you want to join in any of the fun, do drop a comment in the YouTube. It's just being kind. Sim racing at its very best, absolutely rightly corrected there.
So also on round 3 for Super Sprint Sunday, vacancy for commentator because Greg's been sacked.
Oh, when the boss is here and everything. So yeah, drop a comment, and one of the admins will reach out to you with a Discord link and a SimGrid link if necessary for what you want to get involved in. And Van der Waal does take, and he's clearly paid Larry some money, and he's popped himself on pole. And he's going to lead all the cars away. I can't help but notice that
maybe it's his plan all along. Maybe he chose to have that high ping on purpose.
Maybe he's gone Bitcoin mining in another room.
But sure interestingly to know, obviously, joining the Patreon practice server, obviously you guys can join as little as £3 a month, get some absolute fantastic privileges. Van der Waal did look very quick in the Patreon server, so it'll be very interesting to see how race 2 does play out for him.
I had him. I had a time that could beat him. I just couldn't set it.
Well, there's your problem, mate. Oh yeah, mate, I did a time that was quicker, but it's invalid though. If it's in red, I don't care. If it's in white, it's right. So, interestingly, we're going to get underway very soon for race 2. If you are watching at home, let us know who you're rooting for. Also share it with a friend, a family member, your dog, your cat. Send it to someone you hate. Get the FRL word out and about.
Let them know what it's all about.
Exactly. And you do that. Right, no, copyright again. Can't do that. My brain wants to sing and it can't sing for copyright reasons.
I don't think it's for copyright reasons that you can't sing.
That's what I tell myself every day.
Every day. In the mirror before he heads off to work. Not going to find you on X Factor anytime soon.
No.
But thank you everybody who's been watching along tonight. It's all very much appreciated. Really helps us out. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. we shoot shots every week, Veldman. You just don't. I'm not sure if you're here every week to hear them. It gets brutal in here.
Oh mate, off stream, mate. It's like behind the scenes, just like an MMA fight in the back. It's like Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo.
10 seconds.
As we got 10 seconds to go before the cars start rolling away down the corkscrew. It's quite an ominous first corner to roll away down, isn't it? Here you go. Here's one of the most difficult corners on any racing calendar. Attempt
Sorry,
it
when you do
with heavy
free
fuel.
practice next time, I get you a stair lift.
Oh, thank you very much, Nico. Hopefully I get to keep doing it and you don't sack me.
Thank you for the kind words, Nico. I mean, it's great to have you here. That means Greg has to behave himself.
Thank you! Yay! I'm unfired.
You're unfired, but still fired. Just slightly less.
Just my rate.
Because rather than being burnt, you're just slightly charcoaled.
My rates have been readjusted. Maybe rehired, but I probably had my points docked for Taco.
Yeah, it turns out you got to do it in a Robin Reliant.
Yeah. A Peel P1. Not a McLaren P1, a Peel P1. As we are go, go, go. But Cablo, right at the front of his box, has absolutely sent it off the start. But can Van der Waal dive anything down the inside? No, he gets blocked out. And Cablo takes an early lead. But he doesn't. He goes deep over the grass. And Cablo is now going to get jumped on. That's not let's see, that's Amica, who's now dived through. And the pro driver already in P2 as we are 3-4 abreast. Behind Felix trying to go round the outside of of the BMW of Heymans. Heymans gets through.
Well, there's big scenes there. Who's that? There's a McLaren off.
Car 69. That is Sharp. Oh no! And we have people with that. There's Poppersill off on the gravel as well. We're going to head back towards the front, trying to let everything settle down. We've got Lane trying to send it on the inside of turn 6. It's taking a big piece of the curb and is now dropping down places. The BMW of... who is that? Massive damage. As that is 131. Has now looped it at the corkscrew. They're doing the right thing and waiting around. Now Coppens attempts the final turn to try and bring some normality to the race, but he's got Grafe all over the back of him in that Mustang. Is he going to send a move with a camo? Make sure he doesn't see him coming. Sends it around the outside. He goes deeper on the brakes, but now he's out on the marbles. Attempts to cut back. Does get a good run, but he finds himself back on the outside. But now he's found something inside, and it sent Coppens over the gravel, and now Grafe slides his way through.
And now he's going to be under fire from Serpentine as well. Serpentine's going to lick his lips at this. Richings is there as well.
There's a Ferrari going very, very tight into that, and that sends Serpentine over the curbing, dips a wheel into the gravel even. He takes the commanding route through there. Got Richings with Brown behind. Oh, and there's a Ferrari in the back there, spinning off. The car 74. That's Drone Lander. It's all happening in this reverse grid. 40 minutes.
Quicker than we can see them.
Now the
Speaking
Amica.
of moving, we got Gedman and Brown now. Bino just behind Gedman as well. Big on the brakes there. We've got the Perrink McLaren of Townsend as well.
Looks like Gedman is going to size up a move on Brown here. Admin versus admin. Then Chabino really late on the brakes there. And who was that going over the gravel?
Gate Ferrari.
Can only presume that was Coppens. No, not Coppens.
Lino. Oh, and again, I've just seen Sharp been hit by the white car of the Bont. Is it the Bont or is a white car has just spun Sharp?
The Bont's still going. He's up in P17. He's just overtaken the Lamborghini of... Sorry, timing screens just corrected themselves. I believe that was probably Prentice. And now going after Colpitts again. Old battles resume. I think Lino was coming out of the pits, you know, as now De Amica has taken the lead from Van der Waal. Van der Waal still leading his class, so he'll be relatively content with that. Looking for redemption for Van der Waal. Serpentine stuck behind Cablo.
Yeah, just waiting for the timing screen to update there because...
And Brown on the inside of Coppens there, makes that one stick. Travaggioli is a bit beaten up already, but he's got Gedman in his sights. Travaggioli is more
deep again.
Yeah, I think Coppens has lost a few positions there. Travaggioli tries it around the outside of Gedman, gives him the space. Well, Gedman will be conscious he has the inside line for this corner, but he's now full car length behind. And Travaggioli slips through. Richings into the corkscrew. Very, very close on the back of Serpentine. And Brown slowly easing himself into this battle. Van der Waal doing very good up front with a 2.5 second gap. That's very good to defend. So Richings, Serpentine is in the Aston Martin. Can he undo the roadblock that is Cablo? And I can't remember, Grafe ahead on the inside of the McLaren of Felix. Gets that one done. Oh, it's further behind that. Serpentine's around. Serpentine has, I think, been tapped and has been spun round at the Andretti hairpin. And now looks to rejoin wide of that corner and now finds himself behind the Bentley of... See a
Just
Bentley on my list.
We did have Sharp do a really good move on Sill into the Andretti hairpin there, so Sharp moves up
now,
to P23.
Coppens side by side with Kalugin into turn 5. Kalugin's got that one done, but now he's got more behind him.
More not happy about something, he's definitely flashing.
Will there be a move into the corkscrew? We've not really seen one so far today, but here one goes. He's around the outside. Oh no, there's a touch!
Colbit's having to move out the way, and Colbit's even hits a wall. McLaren of the Bont slips through as well.
Yeah, Colbit's actually had to cut.
Is going to try and make a move as well.
Yeah, Colbit's actually had to cut the corner, the bottom of the corkscrew there. And now he has to defend from Prentice, the race 1 winner. This timer screen's changing all the time. Now there's a battle here for P8. Brown has escaped and left Jabino in his dust. Brown is hunting down Cablo.
But speaking of hunting, you see Kalugin and Townsend. I think it looked like I saw Kalugin get very close to the back of Townsend there. He's just dropped off, but Townsend is getting ever so slightly closer to Gedman in front of him.
Yeah, Gedman, maybe a bit of his confidence has been knocked with the positions that he's lost in the early stages. Townsend looking very comfortable in the Prink McLaren. Such a difficult entry to the corkscrew to make a move. I think maybe a lot more moves made into there of that.
Well, speaking of moves, buddy, we've got battle for P24, Lucking and FaZe there into the top of the corkscrew, going side by side. McLaren getting very nicely done on the line there.
Serpentine having to reinstigate a recovery drive, finds himself in the back of Wazza. But we'll stumble with Townsend as Townsend around the outside of Gedman. We just caught the end of it, but then rolls deep, gets onto the marbles. Can he find traction on the exit? He does. Great swing there. And now on the inside of Gedman, squeeze him out. But what can Kalugin do with this? He sees Gedman get overtaken, finds himself inside, but then also has to defend from De Bont behind. I don't think Gedman's had the best exit there. Goes defensive.
Kalugin throwing shapes at him.
But Kalugin only then leaves himself to get picked off from De Bont.
It's
great foresight.
Well to not get thrown by the curbing.
Now De Bont's found some incredible speed up the hill. Move around the outside of the corkscrew, over the curbing. Why not give it a go as Townsend cuts the corkscrew? Doesn't seem to have lost too much time.
Oh, Kalugin got bounced by the curbing on the bottom of the corkscrew there. Bleeding positions there.
Now finds himself behind
Mustang of Richings get past him, so he's lost a good 5 positions there.
Yeah. I think there's lapping cars behind.
I think Van der Waals had a bit of a moment as he was a second behind Diamica, but he's now probably 3 seconds nearly.
So I've just picked up Travaglioli, already up to P5, and eyeing up Grafe into turn 4. Oh, he almost gets his nose cut off. But then Grafe kicks off the curbing as the correct. Commits to the inside. Travaglioli tries the outside. Thinks better of it after he saw the stout defence of Grafe around turn 4. Now the top drivers have been attempting moves up the hill and into the corkscrew. Travaglioli is one of those drivers. Will he attempt it? I think he's a bit too far back. Van der Waal ahead, doing a great job. He's actually built that gap over Heyman's. Now 3 seconds, was 2.5. As we are now a quarter of the way through this race. I've picked up
cars from Gedman behind. Battle for P12.
So I've just picked up Sharp, who's under pressure from Popsill, and eyeing up Kalugin, as we've seen, has been bleeding positions. So Sharp heads to the outside. Can he find space on the outside? He can, but the traction disobeys him a little bit, and Kalugin gets away despite having the tighter line. But he's picked up speed now. He's found a slipstream. Gets the door shut on his inside. Brakes late to the outside. Avoid the marbles, keep it tight. Poppersill dips down the inside. Oh, and Poppersill loses it ever so slightly. Lino backs out. He's a lap down. I think Sharp was just massively committed to trying to overtake Kalugin. Maybe he just didn't quite see Poppersill. He's going to keep trying. Kalugin does not get the best exit there. Sharp does find the inside, but he's still not quite alongside for turn 6. And Kalugin survives another half a lap.
Those yellows and the corkscrew.
And that car 37. No, 420 even. That's De Bont. So De Bont losing loads of positions now. Now puts himself all the way down behind 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Poppersill has just rear-ended Sharp.
At the final turn, and that's allowed Gahela through.
I don't think that was intentional, but it's very unfortunate.
So multiple of the top drivers getting their advancements come to nothing as we now catch having a look around the outside. We've got Townsend on the back of Jabino, gets a snap off the outside curbing. So, and then Jabino covers the inside harshly. Then Townsend commits the inside, but now with the BMW over the curb, the BMW rejoins. It hits Gedman and then sends off again. How has Gedman managed to hold on to that? Absolute chaos in the midfield.
Just want to say, so far, Grafe has done a fantastic job holding off Travaglioli so far.
No.
Look at that timing split difference.
And I've just seen Gedman had to give up a place to the Lamborghini of Prentice. Moves further forward. He's done well to keep his nose clean. He's got a long way to go to catch the front. Townsend, P3 in class at the moment. Got Colpitts chasing him down. Colpitts the winner of the silver tier last time out. Kalugin closing on more. In fact, this is quite a train going on at the moment.
Overtaking Cablo. I think Cablo kind of ran a bit wide onto the dirt there and let Brown past.
I mean, we've got a huge battle. All P10 down to P18. And Townsend to Kalugin. This massive train that you can see coming around turn 4 at the moment. Each fight is interesting as the next one. And Colpitts has got race 1's winner closing him down.
Oh, speaking of winner, Travaglioli got very lucky there, trying to put a move on Grafe. Grafe did really well, holding him off. Putting a real good defence on in the Mustang.
Yeah, Travaglioli trying to set something up. Oh, he was a bit hesitant about getting on the power there, but he did get given the room in the end. Now I know which car I'd bet for in a drag race, and it's not Travaglioli's Ferrari. But on the brakes, Travaglioli showing his dominance, and he stays in the fight despite having top speed, slow machinery.
Richins just been tagged by, I think that was a white BMW of Moore, and got sent into the wall.
And we've got the two Sharp brothers together on track. And it's like Adam Sharp has been let past Johnny Sharp. And ahead we see Richings off track in a very, very beat up Mustang, so we think that's potentially a retirement now.
Oh, that could have been a good move there. Travaglioli had a bit of a moment over the sausage curb there that did allow Felix to get really close to him. I thought Felix was going to try to send a move on Travaglioli, but I think he just let him dust himself off and get him back up and
Oh,
running again.
I've just seen Cablo been dropped back towards this multi-car battle here, and now Townsend is right on the back of Cablo. But he's got to think about Colpitts behind as well. As we catch Colpitts going deep, is this going to allow Prentice around the outside? Yes, it does. He's got to be mindful. As then Townsend goes deep as Cablo goes round. Madness at the final turn. And then I think he's been hit again. So
Townsend's going to lose that to Gedman down straight.
And then Colpitts is going to lose out to the Bentley of Wazza. But no, he gains back on the exit. He gains back. Townsend maintains ahead of Serfontaine. But he looks so much faster than Klugen right now.
Still trying to get moves on
Gedman,
Grave.
sorry.
But Grave still holding out. He was wheel to wheel with him in the corner before, but that Mustang just gets a good drive out every time.
Gedman looks like he's really struggling at the moment. Townsend can't help but have a look. Makes such an advancement up the hill. Has the brake early and they get back on the brakes. But then Townsend goes a little bit deep on the exit of the corkscrew.
Something we've gone unnoticed. Heymans has caught up to Van der Waal.
So Van der Waal, who was holding a good 3 and a bit second gap for so long, is now dissipated in the blink of an eye. And we've got a car ahead of car 74, now slow on track, and now seemingly have returned to pits. So another incident around that area of the track.
Once again, Townsend trying to throw shapes at Gedman, but Moore dives down the inside of Serfontaine. It's a good move on Serfontaine to turn 1.
He's not done with him yet. For a moment it really looked like he was going to throw one down the inside of turn 3. But that's a fast flowing corner. But Gedman's going to be regretting sticking the tow bar at the back of his car, because Townsend has very much lassoed it and is sticking around. As Gedman makes a mistake on the exit, and now Townsend is going to go into the corkscrew ahead. But Moore thinks he's got a chance as well. But he doesn't. He only gets side by side, but then he's going to have a move on the exit. He's side by side again, but now he's got a full nose ahead. But then Gedman dives back down the inside and maintains the position for now. But now Serfontaine fancies it, and he sticks his nose into
Now that was a good angle for Gedman there.
So Gedman survives again. He's only lost out to Townsend, where he almost lost 2 more positions. So damage control for Gedman.
Well, speaking of moves, Travaglioli trying to go wheel to wheel with Grave. Oh, he bounces him out of the way.
Oh, then Grave corrects and sends off, and now Felix goes through. But what about Brown? Brown's here now. Brown sends a massive one down the inside and into turn 4. He gets through, but can he have the traction and get away? Yes, he does. Has to take a bit of a correction up the hill.
Teleported back to the pits, I believe.
Oh, as we have Grave trying to send one around the outside of Brown into the corkscrew, but Brown's having none of it. Up ahead, Heyman's well within half a second now. BMW Power now chasing down the McLaren of Van der Waal. Now this is something that's going to get heavily defended. He's going to fight this a hell of a lot more than he fought for the lead of the entire race. This is for the individual championships, for the silver tier championship win for race 2. But Heyman's maybe struggling underneath the dirty air. Van der Waal, so we go back to Prentice, who's now eyeing up Jabino.
Grafe lost a lot of positions out of that. To see him just dusting himself off in P7.
Apprentice looking so much more comfortable than Jabino right now. And was not letting go of Colpitts either. This quartet of the upper midfield, and we go down the actual midfield from Sharp backwards as we catch Gedman trying to make a move on Popsill into turn 5. No, not doing there. Gedman, I'm not sure if he's shaking in disapproval, or he's just got that little that little mastery over the Porsche. It's not an easy car to drive.
Speaking of looking at driving, look at Kalugan. Great drive up to the corkscrew behind Gedman there. I believe there is a blue car or blue flag in the mix somewhere.
And now Johnny Sharp closing up on the 2 Porsches as well. Oh, I saw we've missed it, but Heyman's now passed Van der Waal. And Travaglioli can see that battle now. Every now and again.
Oh, Kalugan runs deep into turn 1. J Sharp not quite close enough to capitalise.
Oh!
There's
And we
car 23, Dreadlock Steve, moving out the way for Heyman's and Van der Waal.
over the corkscrew, no less. Not the easiest place to let cars through, especially the committed ones.
There's a white BMW that's found its way, which is lucking in P31. Finds himself behind P4 on track.
So, Prentice looking to make every move he can. Sends Jabino deep. Jabino the curb, and that lets Colpitts alongside. This will be a drag race down to the first turn, but I think that one is already done.
Was going to go around the outside as well. Bentley Barge.
Get your oar out. Spin the wheel. Get the maximum crank you can get. Just not enough for the Bentley Barge. Van der Waal, crucially, has not let go of Heyman's. I think there might be an attack later on in the race here. Now Colpitts, I reckon if he's smart, will follow Prentice up to Grafe. As I think this pack will get stretched now. Now 2 drivers who both...
15 minutes remaining. Anything can happen, buddy.
So we've got Popsill chasing down Sharp, 2 drivers that expect to be much higher up. And that was a Ferrari by the side there. That was car 74. That's Drone Lando, I think, has albeit resigned himself from the race now. Oh, he's a catch more ahead. Oh, we have a collision at the corkscrew. Sharp and Popsill both span out at the corkscrew.
2 drivers just not leaving each other alone. The Sharp drifts onto the grass. Which
Now Popsill, I think, is letting a lot of cars by. Not sure if this means he's given up.
And so Sharp has teleported back to the pits.
Popsill's car looks okay. Very reason for him to still continue. They go on to FaZe, who's chasing Kalugan down to the first turn. Aims around the outside. Kalugan defends deep. Makes him go the long way round.
Now here's something we slightly missed as well. Heyman's is reeling in Diamica.
I mean, there was a moment where I think he was under a second, but I think Demo got a bit of a mistake, extended it, and now that gap is coming down again.
Because Van der Waal was keeping up with
Oh,
Heyman's.
as that is Kahela who's just lost it at turn 5, or I think has been tapped, and now making a big cut of turn 5 and trying to rejoin behind the Ferrari of Dronelander. Apprentice eyeing up Felix. The Colpit's in tow. Much more confident on the brakes than Felix. It's to be expected, they are 2 tiers apart. Felix does have quite a buffer to the cars behind him. 5 positions between him and his closest rival in his tier. But if you let these positions go, you just know your competitors will come thick and fast for you. Yeah, Townsend, several positions and a fair bit of time behind, but Felix will take every reassurance he can get. And Colpit's not letting go of the back apprentice. It's been an incredibly impressive drive from Colpit's. As Wazza has just died past Jabino on the exit of the corkscrew. Just caught the back end of that move on the other camera. Catching Serpentine, chase Gedman up to the corkscrew. Nothing doing there. What about DeBond? Just as close on Klugin, but same result. The Colpit's went side by side with Felix and is past him. But now seems to have dropped off the back. Oh no, Prentice has dropped back. But then we catch Colpit's snaking out the first turn. What is going on at the moment? Oh no, and then Felix goes round. And that's going to invite Wazza up the inside of Prentice. Oh, Prentice turns in harshly. Wazza backs out. Now Jabino up the inside of Wazza.
So we did just
He's still
miss
there.
Travaglioli overtaken Van der Waal now.
The win is still on for Travaglioli. He knows it. He's got 10 minutes to reduce a 4-second deficit to Diamica and make those overtakes.
Oh, what I did see slightly notice, Brown is slowly creeping his way up. I know he's been P3 in silver tier for a little while, but he is reeling in slightly. Bit of fishing.
Just picked up Townsend in the midfield, closing in on Moore. I think he's sick of the sight of that. The tail lights of that white BMW for both races. Now Heyman's now within 7/10 of Diamica. I think the sight of Travaglioli is giving him the hurry up. And I reckon ever so soon we're going to have a 3-car battle for the lead. With only 9.5 minutes remaining. But we will return to that when it starts spicing up. Prentice regained his composure. Now on the back of Colpit's, he's made this move once. He'll be fairly confident he can do it again. But all cars navigating turn 6 with a lot of effectiveness. So not many drivers have put individual foots wrong. There's been incidents, but not many personal spin-outs this evening. Oh, as Prentice gets quite a snap out onto the gravel on the penultimate bend. And now Wazza has found some decent traction at the final turn. Prentice's second phase is good. But Wazza's coming. Question is, how brave is he on the brakes here? He gets his nose ahead before the corner. Prentice runs him out wide. This battle for the lead, as promised, closing every single sector.
Oh, we just missed Jabino is holding off Wazza.
He's still trying.
Go.
And was a find some space on the outside. No, Jabino holds on even longer. Well, Travaglioli trying to make a move on Heymans. Down to the inside of the final turn. No, backs out. And Heymans has had to back off D'Amica a little bit to try and engage in this fight. He's still there, ever present. Question is, has Heymans managed to regain some composure, try and close the gap to D'Amica? Now was it still trying to go around the outside of Jabino? Nothing doing. Needs to start prioritising his exits, get the move done before the corner. That car's more than capable.
Oh, he's definitely getting a bit close there. Oh, wasn't there's a big snap there.
Heymans under huge pressure from Travaglioli. Timing screen says he was very close, but
He's
I
going to
can't.
go for it. He's going to go for it down the inside.
Runs him over the curb, but Heymans seems comfortable with that. Can BMW power bring him back into this? I don't know what's happened to D'Amica. D'Amica lost the lead there. Now Travaglioli, all of a sudden, is now your race leader. Heymans sends it back on the inside, but I think he's fairly okay with seeing Travaglioli go. So D'Amica has now also dropped behind Van der Waal. So there's a Lamborghini out of place in this sequence. Or is it? So, or is that? Who's the Lamborghini ahead? 118. The lap car of Jablonski, who should move out of the way fairly soon. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, we completely missed that, buddy.
What's that?
Just going back on the replay mode and looking at D'Amica, he runs deep into the corkscrew, bounds over the curb of the corkscrew, goes into the wall.
Oh, the man who was leading this race for so long from the start. Well, actually made that move on Van der Waal. Oh, as I just caught Jabino eating a whole load of dirt, trying to regain traction. Wazza's here for it. Wazza around the outside. Jabino makes a good turn, but not enough to keep Wazza out.
There's that Bentley barge getting on all cylinders.
No, Wazza makes that one stick. Small mistake from Jabino. Nothing major, but just enough for Wazza to capitalise. Now catching Cassia around the penultimate bend, trying to do a little bit of a switch back on Felix. But he does have Sharp and Gedman for company. And that's one hell of a switchback. Wow, what a switchback. With the threat from Gedman behind, the confidence to pull the switchback on, knowing you're going to have a great exit. Takes some kahunas. Now he's after Cassia. No, Keller and Sharp are closing on Gedman. This midfield battle is ever fascinating. all being headed off by FaZe at the front. We've got Cassia chasing them. And further back, Sharp on the inside of Felix. Felix went very deep at turn 5 and should have the commitment and the line to make turn 6 stick. But now that was... Oh, have we had a collision? Yeah, I think that was Cassia. No? FaZe even. I think FaZe had a bit of a moment. Top of the corkscrew. Maybe got a little bit of a tap. So what a job Colpitts is doing is to hold on to the back of Prentice here. And now Travaglia, as expected, once he found the front, he is now running away with it. Gedman, having had let Felix through, stayed relatively close. I think Cassia ahead's a bit out of reach now. You'll probably want to put an AM driver between him and Sharp of the silver tier cars. For the non-podium positions in the silver tier. Here goes Sharp on the inside of Gedman. Gedman just brakes later and gets the corner commitment sorted. Brown did a great job of closing down the Amica. He hasn't got long to do it. We've got this and one more lap. We see Travaglia on the map. Just doing the penultimate corner now. As there was a car going deep there. That was Popsil. And then cars by. Travaglia sets the timing screens alight and instigates a final lap of this race. Now Brown looks like this is a good setup. Once again, proven method of defending the inside into the first turn, but it's the exit you've got to make sure you get right. Brown uses a bit of the gravel to see if he can find an inside line into turn 3. All gaps getting pretty sparse now.
Speaking of sparse, that battle between Gedman and Sharp still going on. There's Dreadlock Steve just onto the gravel there just to get out of the way of the drivers that are obviously on fighting for the final positions. We saw Felix have a moment on the final corner. Gedman's got a run on him down the straight.
I think this one's mostly done. Felix is going to fight it. He goes really deep on the brakes, hits Gedman. Not sure how that'll be viewed by the stewards.
Did miss Travaglia, go across the line.
Yes, Travaglia with a fantastic recovery drive due to the reverse grid. And Heyman's a fantastic silver tier win, closely followed by Van der Waal. Redemption for him in Leguna Seca. Followed by D'Amica, who's still having to fight off Brown. Brown ducks to the inside. This is going to be... Oh no, I think that was Amica. I'm not sure who was fighting then. Prentice, it must have been. Brown comes in for a podium in silver tier. In the AM tier, Townsend takes the win. Followed by Devon, followed by Serpentine and Kalugin round out the podium for the AM tier. It's yet to finish their race. and we are going to get Colpitts, who finished in the end P5 overall in his tier, but had a win in the first race, so I'd like to think he's going to be quite chipper to talk to us. Gedman across the line, P17. Didn't look like he had the ultimate pace today, but he gritted it out and managed to keep his nose clean until right now. Well done, Gedman. So there you have it, everybody. There are your results for the race 2 of Super Sprint Sunday. We are going to get Lee Colpitts in the comments box once he's ready. So yeah, multiple winners there. So we've got Travaggioli winning the Pro Tier, Heyman's winning the Silver Tier, and Townsend winning the Pro Tier. The Am Tier, my apologies. So yeah, massively entertaining racing there, Owen.
That's what the reverse grid's for, buddy. It keeps us on our toes quicker than the timing screens can update. So we do try our best to keep everyone informed and up to scratch with all the juicy stuff. And speaking of the juicy stuff, we've got Mr. Gedman here.
You were in the thick of it.
Oh my god, I was in the thick of it like you wouldn't believe the night. That was fantastic in race 2. Brilliant, but I think we've got Colpitts in with us as well right now.
We do, by invitation today. You had a fantastic race 1, a bit more eventful of a race 2, but I'd like to think you'd be quite chuffed with your evening.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit disappointing to lose those 2 places and 1 class at the end there from my own stupid mistake, but safe on the back of the grid to an overall top 10 and 5th in class, I'll take that, yeah. It was an interesting race going through standard lap 1 chaos.
Yeah, I mean, did you find out any? I mean, we tried to cover as much as we can, but because the groups were so large, we didn't manage to pick out any 1-to-1 battles. Anybody that you felt that you were at odds with for most of either race 1 or race 2?
I mean, race 1, I was kind of chasing the pro, so I wasn't really expecting much. But then I think it was Casey kind of seemed to be struggling with his tyres or something a little bit, so he got him a couple of mistakes, and then it was De Bont and him and Trevor, and obviously then Trevor Bioli came through as well, and he was obviously quite rapid. I think he messed up his qualifying, so he was obviously quicker, but coming through. But obviously it's quite difficult to pass around here without a mistake, so he kind of got stuck behind me. So I was kind of pros in front, pros behind. Then they all sort of got together, and I ended up in front of them all. And then I've got about 4 pros swarming over the back of me for the last sort of 5-10 minutes of the first race, which was a bit tense. And then that second one I've had Wazza pretty much chasing me since about 10 minutes in.
I mean, we saw the Bentleys throughout that they seemingly weren't the most nimble in combat, but they seemed to be present in every single battle. I mean, what was your main tactics fighting specifically Wazza? Because I imagine it'd be similar to other people that were racing against them tonight.
Yeah, sort of good exit from the corner was probably one, and then I think if you defend the inside here, it's very difficult to go around the outside because the track, most of the corners kind of narrow on exit, so going around the outside is particularly dangerous. So yeah, just sort of make sure you don't run wide at the apex really, and it's very difficult to get around.
But yeah, it's I mean we followed you a lot, so hopefully you enjoy watching everything back. And yeah, I guess you occupied for at least a little bit the same part of the track as Gedman, I think, for race 2. Did you cross paths at all, you two?
Yes, I think we did at a moment, didn't we? I think we were battling with Townsend.
Right at the beginning, a sort of Townsend caused a little bit of a... Well, he had to avoid a driver, which caused me to take evasive action, which then caused another car, and Colpitts just slotted past like we were there.
The seas parted quite nicely for me. I felt a bit like Moses when that happened first.
Aye, it was good. It was a really good race. I think tonight my battles were between Jay Sharp near the end there and a couple of arm drivers, Killigan, and hat off to Felix. He was absolutely brilliant tonight, covering his apexes, defending really well, and did really well to keep him at bay until he made a wee tiny mistake.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a few drivers tonight really attempt move, well, at least a sighter into the corkscrew. Did anyone here really think it was on at all? Like
I went
you
side by
planned, or-
side with more. Around about I think it was about lap 24 or lap 23. I went side by side with them through the corkscrew. Don't know if you caught it.
I think we might have done, possibly.
It was quite good. It was scary, and you can't get the exit, the fast exit. You've just got to obviously coast around it because the guys on your inside, I was on the outside, and then going through the middle of it was really scary. But I managed to get ahead of him just on the next two corners. It was really, really good.
Yeah, we also assessed that throughout both races, the majority of spins and collisions and all things drama were actually happening between turns 3 and 4. Did you come across anything particularly untoward around there?
I had to defend pretty much every single time I got to the first and second corner at the first part of the race. And in the latter part of the race, like I said, Felix was doing all the defending, and Callaghan as well. The two of them were brilliant tonight. Absolutely great racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's glad to hear positive reviews of all the fellow racers. From what we could tell, most of what was backing packs up, maybe causing an incident or two, was usually off the back of a small, non-instigated mistake.
Yeah.
And then obviously the backing up and then people trying to navigate through those areas.
I don't think Goggs had a good race. He's just joined
yeah,
us, I
so's
think.
Lee.
Aye. So I think Goggs had a bit of a kind of stickler, didn't you?
That's a fun time. Have you heard from Lee yet?
He's here.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We gave a little review from him just before you joined.
Lovely, fantastic. That's the main part. Just make sure a special guest is welcomed.
So in other words, you want to absolutely talk nonsense about him.
No, to be honest with you, I looked in the MFD and seen his name pop up towards the end, so he's obviously had a very good race. I think you're in a good mood, Lee?
Yeah, I do like Leguna, as you can probably tell. It seemed to go well. I think one of my few wins have actually come around here, so...
Finished fifth in
yeah,
class.
me and the circus seem to get on quite well, so I was quite excited to see that on the calendar this year.
Yeah, I
Done
think.
well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily have your card down as one of the ones that would flourish around here, but it seemed to do quite well. You seemed well balanced, you seemed in control, and you seemed to have a few mechanical advantages over those around you. So,
Your commentator's curse never worked tonight. You should have went on him more, and that would have gave me fifth spot.
I did commentator's curse somebody, didn't I, Owen?
I think it was Colpitts, funny enough. I think was watching you go around Sector 1. I think you just dipped a wheel on the dirt, I think, and you said a bit of a little snap. But I think that was it. Literally, as we said it, you did it. I thought, yep, he's definitely listening.
Yeah, generally wasn't.
Brilliant.
I'm not focused on not launch yourself off the sausage curves, to be honest.
So,
they're brutal.
So individually, going through the three of you here, we'll start with Colpitts as the league member, non-admin. We found that this one-shot quali has absolutely thrown up some fantastic results in terms of moving the grid around without ultimately trying to manufacture a grid. How have you found trying to pick your spot in quali? Have you aimed for anything in particular? Have you found that it's helped you gain positions, maybe cost you a few positions? How has it really worked out for you?
Well, in the 2 weeks we've done it, the first week I invalidated, so I started at the back, and tonight I started P5, so it's definitely extremes in terms of that. So I think, yeah, qualifying well helped my result in race 1, because obviously if I'd have been behind, if we'd have done normal qualifying, I imagine all the pros would have been at the front, and there was some guys in practice that were a little bit quicker than me, like Van der Waal. Hymans, I think, were quicker in practice, so they probably would have qualified ahead of me if they could have had a whole session. So it's definitely mixes it up. It's already quite spicy trying to come through from the back in the second race, or depending on where we end up, obviously. So yeah, it's a new something else to contend with. Especially if you mess up your qualifying, because it can.
Yeah. And sorry, go on.
Guys, I came through quite well in last week, and I got about 12 or 13 places, which is another circuit quite difficult to overtake on. So, yeah.
But yeah, it was fantastic watching you tonight, and glad this is the race you chose to come and join us. because you
Like
had
I
a lot
said,
to
if
reflect
I
on.
saw this one, I was like, if anyone's going to be it, it'll be this one because I probably all go all right here.
We'll go to Gedman next because I think we sort of semi-heard from Brown about his qualifying. How have you been finding it where you've been qualifying up or down to where you expected?
So I'll be honest with you tonight, this was my first race in Super Sprint Sunday Season 18 because I missed last week for a golfing weekend with the lads. And as qualifying started, I had to ask Gogs, Richings went out and I was like, why are you getting out? It's arms first. They're the first 5 minutes and they stopped me and my track's like, nope, it's now 15 minutes, open session. You do an outlap and you then choose your time slot yourself over the 15 minutes. I thought, wow, and I really like it. It's brilliant. It kind of got clogged because somebody's tried to go out that first 7 minutes. But see, if people are smart and just use that time wisely, it's fantastic. It's a great idea, and it's just another little mix on how we do things really well and differently here at FRL. So great.
Yeah, and now we go to Brown. Obviously, we've
You can tell that was the boss's answer, eh?
Obviously, we sort of known already what
Yeah.
happened to you.
Well, I think going by Brown's qualifying, mate, I'd probably get him to ask Edmund where he goes golfing because he probably might do a bit better there.
I'll play. Trust me, you've not seen my golf. It's better here. Trust me. Lee, just for your benefit, buddy. What happened was I cut the inside of the final corner on the outlap, and I got a warning about 3/4 of the way down the straight, round about where 10th place would be on the grid, saying next lap invalidated. So I tried to slam on the brakes and crossed the line by about 20 metres, so I had to abandon my lap.
But think of it as a positive though, lads. Both your races went better than I did last season. I think last season I don't think I made it to turn 1. And I think I just got like completely destroyed. So think of it as a positive.
You're one of those magnets on track for
It's that Sky livery, mate, honestly.
It's cursed. It is cursed, genuinely. It's 100%
I thought it was just by driving.
Take it. Look what's happened with Lost Nisbet to LMU.
We drove it on Suzuka, the endurance race, and I put it in the wall in the formation lap and then went into the pits, then got a pit lane speeding penalty.
That's what I was going to ask you boys.
Yeah.
Was Prentice in the party?
He was in my party.
What happened to him on the start of race 1? Because he was starting the formation lap and all of a sudden he just disappeared.
He dropped it. He lit the rears up and just span immediately. I've got a lovely. I'll put a clip of it. It's on my stream. I'll clip it and send it into the. Chat.
Just before the corkscrew, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Literally just lit the rear tires straight up and went round.
Because all of a sudden he was there and he just wasn't there.
Yes,
in the midfield.
And then we caught. We eventually
also
went
watching from Rhodes. I think they're in Zante. Sorry, and he's streamed it, so he's laughing at him as well. So. He's had some.
Yeah, we just saw him driving back to the pack just before the race started. I'm like, what is going on?
He claimed it was a genius move to warm his rear tyres up. So
yeah, I mean, they will do it, sure.
Yep.
Why not risking auto reset?
I just want to quickly add, I quite enjoyed this 15-minute open session, but I don't know how it looks on a stream. What do you guys think?
It's actually not that hard to follow. It's a lot easier to follow than the previous format. You do kind of have to pick and choose people, but at least you know everybody's kind of not doing their time at the same time. So we may miss a few more people, but we are getting more solid content of those we are choosing to cover.
I think sometimes it's quite to distinguish, obviously, if it's a blue dot, if it's on an out lap, and a grey dot, if it's on a push lap. But then
it's glitched. It's
glitched and then it lies. Yeah. So then you go, yeah, they're on a push lap, and go, well, it's just mugged me off.
Yeah. So if you come at the pit lane and you are crossing the finish line after you left the pit lane, it counts as a valid lap, which is weird. But it's not competitive, so it doesn't do anything for you. But it doesn't come up red either. So because you look at a red timer on the top of your screen, it comes as a grey dot on the map, which is ridiculous. It's stupid, I know. But the whole objective was to eliminate that horrendous queuing you used to get at the end of the third sector, which it's gone.
To be honest though, I mean,
apart from
I can't think of who it was off the top of my head from qualifying? Was it one of the Mustangs or one of the
It was Richings.
BMWs?
He was in my party, yeah. I heard it all through the ear. It was very painful.
And I was thinking it was going to be a repeat at Donington, where it was, who was it? Lichka going through into that double bus stop, like double parked cars in the final sector, but it wasn't too bad at Leguna Seca. There was quite a few cars building up, but they seemed to navigate quite easily. But that final corner where he just got so unlucky.
I know, it's a shame.
Yeah, I think that the most danger time so far in this session has been the immediate first laps, where you've got the first of the large horde of blue flag cars versus all the first early leavers. I think as the season goes on, that will begin to dissipate. But for the time being, I think a few people are still quite keen to get out early, get a lap done. But yeah, I think the drivers will ultimately learn that they have the time to do it, and with especially if the session's fast or optimum, they will get the laps in, and they don't need to necessarily rush to do it. So I think it's a problem that will go away as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's my own take on it from the commentary box. Everybody checked in on Larry.
I mean, I know Van der Waal, I think he got disconnected on the formation lap of race 1, so he started from the pit lane about 2 laps down, I think. But then race 2, I think he finished on the podium, so hopefully Larry has made it home safely after this evening. Mr. Van der Waal, Mr. Marshall Puncher, I mean, nice guy.
Sorry, who's Larry?
So, to give you a bit of context, I think it was 2 seasons ago, Van der Waal got a penalty on the formation lap for no reason. It was a game glitch. So we just had this running joke where Larry, the marshal, was just all behind it. So whenever we see Van der Waal, we go, "Oh, how's Larry?" And it's just been a running joke for about 3 seasons. It's the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
We'll tag it. It was from Leguna Seca from from like 2 seasons ago. If you watch the start of that, we have a little bit of a tirade on it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's been a joke ever since.
Get Larry in brackets in his name.
I'm going to head off and capture some footage because I think it's necessary for myself anyway, at least for defence. I will leave you with this quote from Starkov. So, I don't know if I can repeat this actually.
Oh, is that the one? Yeah, I've just seen that.
So excited for the pregnancy test after getting twice within 25 minutes.
Got a good sense of
Goodbye, guys. Good night,
Bye, mate.
See you later.
I'll head off as well, guys. Thanks for taking us in the booth tonight.
No problem at all. And thank you, Colpitts, as well for joining us. And glad you weren't completely towards thinking you might have to come in here and explain anything after a long evening.
Thanks very much. I'm going to go lie down now.
Okay, have a good one, mate.
Go. Cheers.
Bye. So, everybody, that was FRL's Super Sprint Sunday, sponsored by SimNet, your round 2 of season 18. We've had an absolute blast here tonight. Leguna Seca always delivers. We think Larry's okay, but we are going to come off the stream and check on him. Make sure you're here next week. Same time, same format, and we go again for a fantastic evening of racing. That next race is Indianapolis. Indianapolis, another spicy one, a track of many different concepts, and we hope you're all here to join us next time. To make sure you don't miss it, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that notification bell. And you'll be back here for mine and Owen's shenanigans watching this beautiful racing from FRL. Have a good evening. Bye.